You are listening to 100 Days of EPT, a podcast I developed for you to easily access targeted forgiveness and affirmation statements that will support you changing your life for good. I'm Sherry Hamilton. EPT is short for Emotional Polarity Technique, an innovative holistic emotional therapy. I've been practicing EPT for over 20 years, and I've helped hundreds of people get through some tough mental, emotional, physical challenges. You can contact me for private sessions or private retreats for your unique healing challenges at eptworkshuntsville.com. 100 Days of EPT, Day 17. My life is full of possibilities. I'm reminded of one of my first EPT sessions I conducted for a 16-year-old girl soon after I had just completed my first practitioner training in the early 1990s. Her problem was that she just couldn't eat a meal normally. She told me that at dinner time she would come to the table with her family and then have to excuse herself to the bathroom and throw up. Then she could usually go back and sit and eat something. I questioned her briefly and knew this was her pattern for 2 years, and it began just after a car accident where she was in the front rider's seat and got thrown through the windshield. Since that car accident, she had been throwing up almost daily. She also had multiple surgeries, and she had a large visible scar diagonally across her face. She had several visible scars on her arms and said that sometimes pieces of glass from the accident came to the surface of her skin and came out. As far as her throwing up just before a meal, she said that her medical doctors had looked up and down inside of her for a cause, but had been unable to help. She rightfully pointed to the trauma that was a starting point for her problem symptom. But it was her statements about the incident that allowed me to understand her emotional view of her accident. She said, "My life was ruined." I used her estimation of her life and her future possibilities from the time of the accident to set up her session. As long as she focused on and believed her life was ruined, she would be unable to see possibilities for her future. There are more aspects to her story, and often events we aren't expecting can have lots of messy edges. I took her specific details and aspects and formulated forgiveness statements tailored to what she had come to believe was true for her. After a 1-hour session of EPT guided forgiveness statements, this girl stopped throwing up daily and began to believe her life was not ruined but full of possibilities. Once you have identified a major belief that is in conflict to a positive true belief, the key to unlocking and disabling an old belief pattern is to forgive yourself for believing what isn't true. The idea of having a future that you are able to create and expand as you go, and where you have options about how you will proceed is full of hope. When you are full of hope and creativity and excited about moving forward, you generally see that your life is full of possibilities. If some event has interrupted your desired expectation of the direction of your life, then you can get stuck in hopelessness or trauma of the loss and changes you are facing. Healing from the hurt and injury of the event using detailed and focused forgiveness can break the cycle of hopelessness and allow the process of acceptance to begin. Once all of the emotional aspects of the conflicting belief event are forgiven, then the mind is free to agree with the positive belief. The conflicting beliefs resist and repel each other like two North Pole magnets pushing against each other. And when you disable the old belief pattern using forgiveness, you also change the charge that was held. The resistance you used to feel with the positive belief is gone, and you can now agree easier. The old charged belief has flipped like a magnet's attraction. You can feel the change in energy when the resistance is gone. Think and speak aloud. My life is full of possibilities. Place one hand over your heart and one hand over your forehead. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Repeat, taking 2 more deep breaths in and out. Remove your hand from your forehead. Hold one hand over your heart with your thumb under one collarbone and your 4 fingers under the other collarbone. Gently rub spots below collarbones while speaking the following statements. Take a deep breath in and out after you speak aloud each statement. I love and accept myself, even when I'm afraid to let go of my resistance to the thought that my life is full of possibilities. I love and accept myself, even when I'm afraid that letting go of my resistance to having a life full of possibilities would be bad for me or for someone I love. I love and accept myself, even when I'm afraid it's all my fault and I caused my possibilities to end. I love and accept myself, even when I'm afraid having a life of possibilities is outside of my control. I love and accept myself, even when I'm afraid this feeling of impossibilities will last forever. I love and accept myself, even when I'm afraid that letting go of my resistance of my life full of possibilities will be good for me or for someone I love. I forgive myself for believing my life has already ended and there are no possibilities left for me. I forgive myself for holding on to a limited future that exists only in my imagination. I forgive myself for believing my life and my life possibilities ended with this event. I forgive myself for what I cannot change. I forgive myself for giving up on new possibilities for my life. I forgive myself for believing there is something left undone and I must remain in this place forever. I forgive myself for believing I didn't get what I was supposed to get. I forgive myself for resisting this change in my life because it wasn't what I wanted or expected. I forgive myself for believing there is nothing left for me. I forgive myself for believing my life isn't what I expected, so I can't feel good creating something new and different for myself. I forgive myself for believing I can never want anything different from what I was expecting. I forgive myself for believing I can't love anything or anyone different from what I was expecting. I forgive myself for believing I can't get past this and see new possibilities for my life and my future. I forgive others for leaving me without a full life. I forgive others for moving on to a life full of possibilities without me. I forgive others for failing to help me get what I want. I forgive others for believing I can't get over this. I forgive others for seeing possibilities for me. I forgive others for what they cannot do for me. I forgive others for leaving me with my loss and alone. I give others permission to forgive me for getting stuck in resistance to my life being full of possibilities. I give others permission to forgive me for holding on to a future that doesn't exist for me now. I give others permission to forgive me for giving up because my resistance to my life being full of possibilities has been difficult to face. I give others permission to forgive me for healing and accepting that my life is full of possibilities. Without the need to hold on to a resistance to my life being full of possibilities, I'm free to let go of all unfulfilled expectations of how I thought my life would look. I'm free to see and accept the possibilities that exist for me now. I'm free to choose action and new beginnings for a life that can work for me and bring me comfort, confidence, and peace. I'm free to open up the space of energy where I have the creativity to know what I like. I know what I want, and I can see possibilities for my life. I'm free to enjoy my life now as I heal from my past experience of loss. I'm grateful for my experience because it taught me to value love and connection with honor and pleasure and happiness in the present. I love and accept myself, raising my level of acceptance to any resistance I have for knowing, believing, and choosing actions that my life is full of possibilities. May you be blessed today with a thankful heart, healing of your pain, and comfort through your trials. May you experience your life and your connection to others with belonging and safety. May you know that you matter. May you show up in peace, trust, and friendships that last a lifetime. May you see, know, and act on good with all your heart, all your mind, and all your strength. Thanks for listening.